I wanted to do a video to show you this quirky little vintage Swift that I've found in my stash of machine knitting accessories. Obviously it can be applied to a hand knitter as well, or a crocheter. It's the Aero wool winder, and you can see that it was made by Albemarle Limited in Redditch. So it has the instructions, and I've added some little extra clips in here, and I'll explain why I did that further on in the video. So this is it. This is all you get in the box. This little arm section, and then the table clamp that the arm slots into. Now the arm section has this brass rod that goes up and through with a screw feature with a little kind of textured knob on the top, and then it has this collar section that has 3 slots, and what you end up doing is lifting all of the arms into the respective slots and then tightening down that knob on the top, which means the arms aren't going to slip out. Then you can attach that to your table and then slot the top section in, and it's quite a nice smooth spin on it. Now it is adjustable, much like your common umbrella Swifts, but rather than having that tall feature or setup, this one has a slide out feature, so the arms extend and they can go pretty much to double the packed down length, which makes for a very large Swift. Now I've found through time that this collar becomes a bit loose, and when I'm using a 100-gram hank or skein, it tends to want, like, if I put the hank on, set it up to where I want it to be, through time as it spins, it kind of starts to slide in on itself. And that's primarily why I've got these little crocodile clips with the kind of rubberized teeth on them, because it stops the arm from moving in any further. Now in the instructions it does say that you can take a pair of pliers and tighten that collar because it is open backed. But I haven't found much success with doing that, hence why I just stuck with the rubber tipped crocodile clips. I have found using this Swift really handy for the little minis. And it's also a great size for packing in to take on holiday with you. So the set down, again, very simple, much like the setup. I lift the arm section out of the clamp, undo the screws, lift it all together, just a case of getting the right order to make sure that it sits in sequence. And what I used to do is I used to tighten this down again to stop it from moving around, but when you tighten it down, it causes the arms to spread, which makes it more difficult to fit into its storage box. So keeping these loose will allow for the arms to sit flat, and it can just be slotted into the storage box with the table clamp. And that is probably about half the size of the kind of standard umbrella Swift. And I'm sure you'll agree, much neater way to package. My umbrella Swift goes into a square blue box that's quite long. I'd say probably about this long. Maybe not quite as wide as this, but certainly a lot deeper. So I'm hoping I'll be able to show you how I get this set up in order to wind up the last of my minis for my advent calendar cardigan project. Most of the issues I've found when loading the Swift, depending on the type of winder that I have used, tends to be either a twist in the skein, or it hasn't been put on the arms properly. Maybe it takes from the outside on this arm, but then it takes from the inside on this arm, and it can get caught up. I am going to keep a hold of the yarn here as I wind it on, because this winder that I've set up doesn't have a tensioning system. So this just ensures that my yarn should get even tension all the way around. And if I find that the yarn is starting to twist up on anything in here, I just make sure to untwist the skein in the hopes that it should settle itself out. There's very little noise that comes from the wool winder itself, because the only part where there is any friction is this shaft that the arm slots into, and the fact that it is a brass rod. Brass is a naturally lubricating metal anyway, but I'm sure if it did start to squeak, then a little bit of oil would fix the issue. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave a comment, and until the next time, you've been watching Button Mouse the Wee Machine Knitter.